In this video, you'll learn how to use npm, how to install additional packages into your React app, and how to use es6 imports. My name is Larry, and this is Digital Logic. Very rarely will you build a React app by itself. You'll frequently depend on external frameworks and libraries to add additional features and speed up the development process. To install a new package, you'll use npm, which is the Node Package Manager, or yarn, which is another package manager. So open up a terminal by pressing Ctrl- if you're in VS Code, and type npm search class names. You'll see a list of packages with a search term highlighted in all of them. I would advise against using the npm search command to find packages to install, because it's too easy to install the wrong package or a horribly outdated fork of the package that you're trying to install. You're better off to search for the package's website or GitHub page and follow the instructions there. That way you'll always install the correct package. To get a list of available commands from either package manager, type npm, or yarn if you're using yarn, followed by help. To get more information on a specific command, type npm help, followed by the command that you're interested in. To install the new package, type npm install, or just I for short, followed by the package name, in this case, class names, and then hit enter. Once the package is installed, open the package.json file, and notice within the dependency section, the class names package is listed. The files for the package have been downloaded to the Node modules folder. Open this folder and you'll see all the dependencies required to build this app. In the previous examples, all of the components were created in a single file, but in a normal application where you can have hundreds of components, storing every single component in a single file may be possible, but it's far from ideal. Normally, each component will be stored in its own file. So create a new folder within the source directory named components, and then create a new file, which I'll call signin.jsx. Now you may be wondering, what's the difference between a JS file compared to a JSX file type? With a JSX extension, we are specifying that this is not standard JavaScript code. This can help with code highlighting within your IDE and help the transpiler bundler to recognize React code. But nowadays, it doesn't make much of a difference. Our build process is set up for React, and most, if not all, modern IDEs will properly recognize and provide syntax highlighting for React. The only noticeable difference is that the JSX extension gets a React icon, where the JS extension gets a JavaScript icon. Now create a new component called signin, and then return a button with the text sign in. To make this component accessible to the app component, we need to export it. So at the bottom of the page, type export default sign in. You can also use what is called a named export. This is helpful if you have multiple objects to export from a single file. So as an example, create a new constant, text, and set it equal to the string hello world. Then add the text variable to the named export list. Back to the app.js file, and at the top, type import signin from, and within quotation marks, ./components/signin. Add the component to the app, save the file, and check out the results in the browser. To add a named import, just add curly brackets to the import and list the objects to import. You can also rename any object that you import. For default imports, just change the import name. For named imports, use the as keyword. Only rename imports when it makes sense, because most of the time, it just makes the code more difficult to understand. Add an h2 tag to the component to display the contents of the myText variable. Now create a new component and name it signout. Create the signout function and return a new button with the text sign out. Make sure to export this component and go back to the app.js file. We could add the import for the signout component ourselves, but manually adding an import for every component we want to include is tedious and flat out annoying. Any modern IDE, at least any that are worth using, will support auto imports. In VS Code, click on File, Preferences, Settings, and search for Auto Import. You can adjust the settings to your heart's content, but there's nothing here that needs to be changed. As it is right now, auto importing may not work properly across all development environments. To help fix this, create a jsconfig file at the project root with the extension JSON. Within this file, add curly brackets, and within double quotation marks, add compiler options. Make sure to use double quotation marks. Single quotation marks are invalid in a JSON file. Add base URL and set it equal to src. There are many more settings available in the jsconfig file, but this is all we need for now. Save the file and restart the development server. Open the app.js file and under the sign-in component, add the sign-out component. Hit enter to use auto-completion and the import statement should have been added by your IDE. Well, that is it for this video. In the next video, I'll be covering conditional rendering and rendering lists. If you like this video, then please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.